following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy. We are live in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, DFS plays for week 1 of the NFL season. Thank God the NFL season is here. It is time to make some money. Jeremy's got your best daily fantasy plays for week 1 at the quarterback position. Top 5, starting at number 5, you've got Aaron Rodgers, 6,800. And, of course, taking on the New Orleans Saints in Jacksonville.
I feel like people are going to stay away from this because there's a possibility it might rain. And not having David Bakhtiari, I really don't care. This is I've got 5 quarterbacks that play in 3 games. Not hard to figure out that 2 of those games have an over 50, and they're the 2 games that I actually think go over. I don't think Cleveland and Kansas City will. I don't have Mahomes, and I don't have Baker Mayfield. Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback that I think will get overlooked this week. He's one of my favorite plays. People are going to think Marshawn Lattimore and Devontae Adams. I really don't care. I don't care. So long as it doesn't rain, I'm all in on Aaron Rodgers, and I'm all over the other quarterback in this matchup, who you'll see in a minute.
At number 4, Ryan Tannehill. Tennessee Titans going up against the Arizona Cardinals, 6,500 on DraftKings.
This is the one that's going to go low owned because people think Tennessee, they think Derrick Henry. Now that you got Julio Jones, I could see a path where Arizona stacks the box and just says, the hell with it, you're not beating us with Derrick Henry, and they try to turn this into a shootout because their quarterback can do that. And I'll be honest with you, with Julio Jones and A.J. Brown, I'm not sure that Ryan Tannehill can't do it. And this is a guy that low-key puts up really big numbers in fantasy football. I like Ryan Tannehill a lot this week.
Yes, he does put up big numbers, and one of the most efficient quarterbacks since he took over there in Tennessee. I think the Julio and the Julio A.J. Brown thing is going to work just fine this year.
I think it'll be fine. I do buy into the Arizona defense. I like the front 7. It's the back half that I'm not so sold on. Mm-hmm. And I do think A.J. Brown's going to be able to make some hay. Couple big plays from Ryan Tannehill, stack Tannehill with A.J. Brown. That's the way I would go. I would rather do that than pay up for Julio Jones.
All right. Number 3 play this week. You're going to have to pay up for this guy, but he's the other quarterback in that matchup from the Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray, 7,600.
I think this kind of speaks for itself. You got a really fast quarterback that likes to run against a team whose biggest deficit is their linebacking core. And they don't get after quarterbacks well. I'm not dead sold on Bud Dupree. I think he's too easy to take out of games. I think he benefited a lot from T.J. Watt. I don't think they're going to be able to get after the quarterback. You got a lot of instability in the secondary. Caleb Farley hasn't been really around. It hadn't been able to play after offseason surgery. I think Kyler Murray is absolutely going to carve them to pieces. The problem is it gets real expensive to stack him with DeAndre Hopkins, and I don't know who else I would do it with. The only thing I can think of is I would go A.J. Greene, just on the off chance that he's low owned and he hits a fountain of youth against lesser coverage. If I'm playing Kyler Murray, it's probably stacked with DeAndre Hopkins, but this week that's expensive. I mean, it's expensive every week, but this week it's expensive and I have better low-cost options. I do like Kyler Murray to go a little under the radar because the lower price guys are going to be much more owned.
A.J. Greene worth a flex play for you at 3,800 this week if you're going to take Kyler?
I'm going to play him as wide receiver. My flex is always either going to be a tight end or a running back.
Okay.
So I don't ever put wide receivers in the flex spot. But I could see him finding his way in there if I was trying to stay low cost. I really want to get up to the high-end running backs this week. And I have a tight end special later in the week that help you get there.
All right. Kyler Murray, 7,600 against the Tennessee Titans this week. Titans gave up the 5th most points to quarterbacks last year in fantasy football, so just keep that in mind. And that secondary, to me, ain't better than it was
If you try to go contrarian, I kind of like the idea of going Kyler Murray with some of the mid-tier running backs because Dalvin's going to be high-owned. Christian McCaffrey will be high-owned.
Yep.
You could slide into that James Robinson, who's probably my favorite play of the week, role. He's going to be high-owned, and you know it. You got to be contrarian somewhere else. But I do like Kyler Murray this week.
At number 2 fantasy play, or daily fantasy play for week 1 at quarterback.
I'm going to catch some shit for this, and I'm okay with it.
That's your boy. Your former boyfriend, Sam Darnold. The Carolina Panthers taking on your New York Jets week 1 in Bank of America Stadium. But you got to spend $5,000 on him.
He's cheap as hell. And he's got Robbie Anderson, who's got a little bit of a vendetta against the Jets.
Yep.
And you name me the corners for the Jets. I'll wait. No Carl Lawson, no Vinny Curry. Shaq Lawson's just getting acclimated to the scheme. We will be in the stadium for this. And I'm not sure it's going to go well for my team. I can see us getting the hell beat out of us. I kind of like the idea of stacking Sam Darnold with Robbie Anderson and Christian McCaffrey. I think they are going to score a lot of points on my fighting New York Jets.
I would agree with you. I think Sam's going to have a big day. I could see him throwing for 4 touchdowns in this game. Christian probably gets a couple.
I mean, I have it. My original model had him at 4% projected ownership solely because there is a cheaper quarterback that's right at the same price. If it rains in New Orleans, I think you're going to see some ownership shade over to Sam because it's not going to rain at Bank of America.
Right.
I don't really think I care. This is a week where I'm going cheap at quarterback, cheap-ish at receiver, and I'm just going to pound tight end and running back.
All right, so number 1 on your list, value play of the week.
And he's number 1 with a hammer.
Jameis Winston of the New Orleans Saints playing again in Jacksonville against the Green Bay Packers, 5,200.
Again, I can't say this enough that if it rains, I'm less on Jameis, but I'm not completely off of him. This is a stack for me with Marquez Callaway, who's probably going to be the highest-owned player of the slate. You just know that going in. Jameis and Callaway together is $8,600 because Callaway's $34, and I'm okay with that. That gives me the flexibility to do anything that I want to do. I know Jameis has the propensity to throw interceptions, but I also think there's a very good shot this game goes shootout. And if it does, then I get a share of it for $1,600 less with Jameis than with Aaron Rodgers. I would really like to know what's going on with Adam Troutman. I feel better about Jameis if he's got that tight end, and I feel like Juwan Johnson's probably not going to be what I'm looking for him to be. He's cheap as hell if you want to go that route. But I'm all in on Jameis with Marquez Callaway.
All right, so your top 5 quarterback plays for daily fantasy football week 1. At number 5, you got Aaron Rodgers at 6,800 against the New Orleans Saints. Ryan Tannehill at 6,500 against the Arizona Cardinals. The other side of that matchup, Kyler Murray against the Titans at 7,600. Sam Darnold at 5,000 against your New York Jets in Charlotte. And then Jameis Winston in Jacksonville against Green Bay at 5,200.
And we will have the rest of your running back, wide receiver, tight end, and defense picks later on in the week to fill out the player pool. Be sure to join our winner take half contest through DraftKings. These are winner take all contests where we're splitting the entry fees in half. Whoever wins this winner take half will get half of the entry fees into the contest. There's a $5 entry, there's a $20 entry, and the other half goes to Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project. It's a great charity that we're tied into where there's here in Asheville, North Carolina, where we're located, they take an outlet mall and they fill it with toys and they let parents go shop for their children and right there at Christmas time. So our goal is to give them a boatload of money to make more children's Christmases festive this holiday season. So be sure, the link is in the description. The 2 contests are separate, the $5 on top, the $20 right below it. And the winner of those contests will win half of all the entry fees.
Nice. Week 1 is finally here, ladies and gentlemen. It is ready and go time. We'll have the rest of your picks coming up throughout the week, and we will be here with your DFS picks for all 17 weeks. Whew, that felt good. 17 weeks of the NFL season. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. As always, we're in the Wicked Weed studio. WickedWeedBrewing.com. Drink different.